This is Student Success Week, and I figured what better way to talk about the program that I love. We all know I could talk about this all week, but how about we hear from stories from actual students? And so last year I got to lead 1,000 students through the Knowledge Broker Blueprint, and one of my incredible students, Erica, is joining me today to just share about her experience, because I think what's so beautiful about hearing from actual students who made the investment, who dove in, who made hard decisions and joined and took a leap of faith, is that sometimes you can see your own story reflected in theirs. So welcome to Facebook Live, Erica. I am so happy that you're here with me today.
I am so excited to be here today, and I'm just so excited to dive in and share my experience and knowledge.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So Erica, walk me through what you were doing, kind of just a little bit of your backstory before you dove into KBB, and paint that picture for us, because I am just fascinated about how vastly different your life is today than it was just a year ago.
Oh my goodness, all of the things. So a year ago, I was working as a creative director for a commercial photography studio here in Montreal, Quebec. And I was working 70 hours a week. I can't even think of that now, where I am today in the season I am and where I was then. And we were kind of at a crux in the business where, we needed new clients, we needed to do more things, and we were just not even thriving. We were just in it, and I was working in my business and not on my business. And I had no new skills to bring to the table to be able to bring my business to the next level. So the business I was in, I was a shareholder, and I wasn't the namesake of the business, but my business partner, it was more his business, and he had been having it for over 7 years. So I came in at the point where everything was already established. I didn't have any new, everything was already in place. So I was just learning, and I didn't have a way to put my own mark. And without having any new skills to bring to the table, I was in a crux. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was floundering. I wasn't myself. And turning to online education was the pivotal moment that shifted and turned the door for me to be able to see what the next part of my life was going to be and where things were going to go.
Oh, I remember the day that you joined. I actually remember, because the way that everything fell through, it's like you had this calling, this cannot be all that is out there for me feeling. You go home, open an email, find out about the training, dive on in. What was it like when you started to learn about this different way of business? Because what I have found is that so many entrepreneurs that are just like me and just like you, they've built something super successful. You should be so proud of what you helped build, but you reach this level of success where you think, I thought I'd be happy. And you're not. You are either maxed out, you're exhausted, you are tired, whatever that looks like. And so what was it like when you started to hear this different message? It doesn't have to be that way.
For me, it was I was in a partners meeting, and my business partner was like, we need new clients now. And where I was already working 70 hours a week, I just was I had this epiphany moment where I was I have nothing left to give. And that when I told him, and I confronted after I sat with the feelings for a little bit, over the weekend. Yeah. I came back Monday, or it was Tuesday. It was right after Easter or something like this. I came back and I sat with him, and I said, this is where my heart's at. And I told him that I needed to walk away from the studio, and I didn't know what that looked like. I sat down at my desk. I opened up the email from you where it was just it was one of the very first things that popped into my inbox. And I just clicked on it, and I everything else kind of fell into place from this moment of the epiphany and realizing that I needed more and help to do this. So that was the catalyst. And I didn't even, Tony I knew about, but Dean Graziosi, I had only heard about him just in passing, that one time you had posted him on your podcast. That was the first time I had ever even heard of him. So I was just okay, Jenna, I've been listening to her and consuming her content for so long. I was I'm just going to see what this is all about, and kind of dive in a bit further. So it's just so many things.
Yeah. Okay, so you are not a stranger to online education. And so you've taken some of my courses, you've taken other courses. What was different about this program? Because it was so funny. I was talking to Drew last night and I was like, all I want people to know is how much this program is worth every penny. Like, I want to shout it from the rooftops, which I feel like I'm doing, how deeply I believe in every single thing inside of it. But sometimes you don't know until you actually experience. So, can you just walk people through just a little bit about why this program is different?
So like you're saying, like I have 3 of your courses and
Yeah.
I've taken many other courses as well. And the main thing that I found was the catalyst, like just like a little snippet too, like where I was financially, like I was making around $2,000 a month at that time. And the course is around $2,000 USD, and in Canadian, that's $3,500. So this was like even more than what I was making in a month. And that kind of impact. And when I just quit my job, it was just like I was it was a very risky, bold move on my position.
Yeah.
But like now looking back 10 months from now, it has been the catalyst in my life that has put fuel, not only in my soul to be able to like reach for more, but the opportunities and the proximity I have to other people that have been moving me forward in a way that was like not even available before, which I think was so, so amazing. And the mindset shifts that I've been able to have in the course, it just like, it was helping me through like in my own self-development in the time that I was at in the course of like leaving the job, the transition, figuring out all the things. It was literally like my little life coach in that I could reference and meet me where I was. But now like I was like coming at it from a place where it's like, okay, I'm worthy to learn more and have more online education and like be able to learn. And now when I go back, like this will be my 3rd time going through it because I want to do the 2.0. But
Yeah.
when I come through it this time, I'm owning my space and I'm not just worthy of it, I am here for it and I am so ready. So it's just this whole transformation and the mindset that I've been able to capture and implement in my life has been amazing. And I think I'm going to lead into saying that my favorite tool was a success loop.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm actually crying, like real actual tears, because I just feel like when you see women who have maybe at times questioned their worth or question like, why am I here? What bigger thing is out there for me? Or am I too late? Or any of those questions. And when you see a woman like stand in her space and own her truth like you are right now, like it's so crazy to me. It's so inspiring for any woman who's like sitting here that thinks all of those things that we all think. Like we all think that no matter if you're standing proud and you're like, I am who I am, there is that voice in you that's like, am I really? And to watch you right now just say like, I am worthy and I know that for sure right now. Whew, that's beautiful. Okay, walk me through the success loop and just kind of give a brief explanation of this because this is one of my favorite tools. And to preface this, inside of the program, they give you all of the marketing and the framework and all of that beautiful stuff that you 100% need. But before they do all of that, there are these tools. And I don't know about you, Erica, but I have gone back to these tools 20, 30 times in the last year. Like if I'm getting stuck somewhere, I'm like, I have a tool that will help me through this. And essentially, these tools were given by Tony and Dean first to just complete them yourself, to really understand and own your story so that you can help teach other people this tool. But I don't know about you, but for those made me dive deeper than I've dove in a long time to figure out what is my why and what are my non-negotiables and what am I going to say yes to and what am I going to say no to and what's actually moving the needle. So walk me through just briefly what the success loop is and how you used it in your life because it's pretty crazy.
So like you're saying, like many people, especially in the closed Facebook group that you had launched, the implementation lab, there was so much chatter around like the why or the one thing or a few of these tools, but I really grasped onto the success loop because the day that I met that that part of the course and I sat down on my computer and it was like the thing that I needed to watch that day.
Yep.
I had just got off the phone with a mediator and they were negotiating me leaving the studio and what that looked like as a shareholder. And so I was a managing partner in this business, and then I was stepping down to be a silent partner. And what that looked like in the contracts that I had committed to, and back pay that was owing to me, and all of the things where when any sane person, if you would have been sitting in a mediator and then being like you essentially have to forfeit all of this stuff and all this work that you did because you were choosing to leave.
Yeah.
Like that in itself was so like heart-wrenching to me, like ugly cry, like sitting at my desk at my computer and then like hitting play and like within moments having the clarity of what I was going to do to move forward in this situation was mind blowing. I can't even express to you like. And now like I have this amazing tool that I share with even like friends, like if we're having a drink and they're just kind of telling me about something bad that happened. I'm like, who do you want to be in this situation? And like for me, when I decided that I didn't want to go after the studio and like, you know, like it's my best friend who I was a business partner with, and I've invested so much time and love into this studio that it was like, it would kill me also to like put it into bankruptcy or something like this by like demanding the money and all of the things that I could have done that would have like changed the trajectory of where I was going. And now today being like this, I'm holding on to it, like the person that I want to be. And as soon as I know this person, I can start modeling and reflecting that into my decisions of and coming from a place of clarity and rationality
Yeah.
instead of a place of emotion where I'm just like acting or reacting to the situation. And then the whole loop, there's like it tells you all the milestones that you're going to go through and
Yeah.
emotionally like what to expect. And then you start thinking about the capabilities that you need to get to your next level or to solve the problem. And then on top of that, once you do have a couple of those little nuggets of things that could make a change for you, adding fuel on it, doubling down on it, and then just like propelling into the next phase. So I just like, for me, the success loop was everything.
Oh, I was laughing when you're like, I do this with my friends when we're out at a drink. I literally, when we were in Hawaii, printed off some of the tools, and with our friends, we would put the kids down to bed and I'd be like, I know I'm being successful when, and I'd make everyone fill these tools out. And what I think is so beautiful is that, and I know you've experienced this as well, so many online educators, they put together these tools and it's almost like they covet them, where they're like, you paid for them, you get them, but don't tell the world about them. And what I think is so different about this program is it's like, take this, get your own experience and your own story to share with people, teach others, and give them this tool. And so it's like you feel like I can go out and impact anyone, paid or unpaid, and make a difference given these actual tools that I can use.
I had recently like signed up for a course where I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement that if I was going to speak or talk about any of the things that I was learning in the course, I could like forfeit my membership to the course. They would take me out of the Facebook group. Like I would be like erased from the course. And like that kind of like pressure, I
Yes.
just was like, it didn't sit really well with me. I'm like feeling it out. I'm trying to move forward and look past it. But like that kind of like coveting of something in an online course, it like comes from a place of scarcity and desperation.
Yes.
And like it doesn't foster community. Like I don't feel the same kind of vibes that I do in your group or even in the larger KBB group. And like part of that is like making me play small in those Facebook groups because I'm afraid to say something or put my toe over a line that I'm going to get slapped for and have a repercussion. So
Yeah.
like the thing that I love about being in the Facebook group is like the community and fostering, like, Jenna, I love you, but I don't want to be your friend. I
Yeah.
wanted to all of the people that you're condensing and bringing into the tribe of people. Like the thing that I loved about your Facebook group
Yeah.
specifically is like there's so many of my people in there and they're at the same spot in their business and their life that I'm at. And similar to like where you are friends with Amy Porterfield and Rachel Hollis and things like this,
Yeah.
like I'm friends with like Natalie Jeans and Madison and Naya and like Tabitha and like all of these people that are doing amazing things, and they're gonna be the next big successes, and I'm gonna be their friend to see that and be along there with them. And it's all been thanks to you and the concentration of the quality of people that you're bringing on into the room.
Oh,
And you can't pay for this. And like, I don't even ever want to join a free Facebook group because the quality of people that are going to be in there, but like the quality of people that are in your Facebook group have paid, they are ready to play, and they want more in their life, and they are in the same spot as you. And this to me has been literally earth shattering. I've been like, I don't even have a podcast, but I've been interviewed for almost 8 podcasts now. And like, I launched my YouTube channel, which has been a huge transformation for me, and learning how to serve other people and share my voice in a way that I like. Having a YouTube channel like a year ago wasn't even on my radar. Like, I didn't even know, like, I know that you need to have a blog or things like this, but I hated consuming blogs. Like, I never read them. So why would I write one? And I do photography. So I was living on Instagram, but that has a life cycle of 24 hours. Like, what happens after I spend all this time investing in social media, and then it just like goes into the void. It just sits there. There's no way of capturing the SEO or like be able to have it evergreen so new people could find it and be inspired from like in years from now. So it's
talk
all
to
the
me
thing.
about, I mean, like, okay, so you've been interviewed on a bajillion podcasts, most of whom are people inside of our implementation lab, if not all. Started a YouTube channel. You styled and shot my necklace that is on your neck right now. You have done so many things, and I don't know if you know this, but just even the way that you show up today is totally different than the Erica just a few months ago. What has it just felt like? Because I feel like a lot of times we can talk about results, we can talk about things. How do you just feel different today? Because I can feel it.
I feel blissfully optimistic. This I've been kind of saying for a while, but like when I had started the course, like I had never done a live or like, pointed the camera at me, because I'm a photographer. I always just like take images and they're never moving. So it was the very first time I had listened to, I think it was like a podcast. I was driving somewhere, and I think you were interviewing Sunny Leonard-Duzzi on it. And it just inspired me into action to like, just to hit record. I published it in the KBB group, and I was like, this is my very first video. Like, I know I need to step into bigger things. And I was so scared. I was so nervous, and I was stumbling. The angle was weird, like all of the things. And from that, I think just after that, you had gone live in the group and talking about like sharing your message and breadcrumbing and different things like this, that I challenged myself to go and do a video every day for 30 days, which I did on my Instagram. And it helps me just like have more confidence, like show up better. Over the last 10 months, like being coached by Natalie Jean, I was able to like really kind of focus in on my health journey. I've lost over 30 pounds, which is just like really like exuberated my confidence and my happiness. Making these changes and focusing on myself, like also has created such happiness in my life, and like feeling in control, and like seeing where my destiny is going. Like 1 year ago, I would say I was a passenger in my life. And I was living out other people's whys, and I didn't have a solid anchor of like what Erica's why was. At the studio, my business partner, he's a primary shareholder. So we were kind of like, I was fulfilling his why. And that's why I was so drained and I had no new skills to bring to the table, is because it wasn't really my purpose and what I wanted for myself. So it's all the things. Like, I'm in such a better place now than I was 10 months ago. And that was really just like, because I'm focusing and I'm working on myself.
I was just gonna say, one of my biggest frustrations sometimes is when people are like, Erica, you're different today because of the program. You're different today because you said yes, you followed through, and you've done the work. The program just helped facilitate. It was a tiny vehicle on your journey, but you are here today because of your belief in yourself, not me, not KBB, but because you did the work. So I just want to commend you, because I feel like a lot of times things can turn into this thing, and I'm like, no, I see you showing up daily for your life in a way that you weren't doing before. And that takes a lot of effort and a lot of guts and a lot of confidence that have like just exponentially grown. Before we go, share a little bit more. I mean, our implementation lab, I can talk about it all day. And maybe people just think I'm biased. It's like when the mom is like, isn't my baby the cutest baby? But really, this group is exceptional. It has been a lifeline for me personally in the last year. Walk people through what that is, because they probably just think I'm bragging, but really it's insane.
Like I had touched base a little bit on it where like, you know, like I want to be your friend, but the thing that I'm more interested in is the people that you bring to the party.
Yeah.
And in the inside the faith, like the closed Facebook group, it has just been such a place of fostering inspiration and curiosity and cheerleading on of each other, and it's overflowed into our Instagram pages. Like I follow so many people and I'm sharing what other people are doing on my Instagram, you know, like participating in podcasts, or it's a safe place to
Yeah.
go and ask questions and have real people actually like chime in. And I'm not expecting you to reply to every single post or like even your team, but just like the people that have knowledge in their special niche or their superpower, they're showing up, and there's probably a handful of other people. And I've created little mastermind groups. Like there's one group that we started in KBB, and we would meet up weekly. We still to this day are meeting up and holding each other accountable, and just like asking what each other's biggest problems that we're facing and trying to solve it as a collective, opposed to just going it alone. Because when I was at the studio, I had a small group of people I was always interacting, and you know, you can have that foster. But when you are trying to build a business online and you're by yourself in my small tiny little condo, 500 square feet, it's just like it can become really mundane and just like very intimidating. But to have that online community of people where you can be like, hey, I have this problem, can you jump on a video with me? Hey, like I would really love a little bit of inspiration. Like what are you doing, and how can I show up to serve you and help you, that like can also reflect and fill me up in a way that it just like I didn't know was possible. So it's so many things.
It's been amazing. And it's been so cool too to watch this next group of students joining and jumping in. And all of our past students are like, I'm here, like you can do this. I remember this feeling. It's like we have so many teachers' assistants in a sense of people that have been in those exact shoes, and knowing those feelings and walking through that together. And I think it's just so exemplary of the quality and the caliber of the people that we have spent the last year learning alongside. And it's people that just genuinely want to serve and show up. And I think there's something so beautiful, because I know that there's somebody here watching this right now that wants more for their life, but they're worried about what other people will think. And they're worried about if they're going to be judged. And when you can get into a safe space where you truly feel free to try and mess up and explore, it is like we're like the net to land in when you take that leap. And I think that for me personally, masterminds and being in private communities where people are all just wanting more for their lives, it's so incredible to watch that growth happen so much faster, because you realize you're not alone in that desire. Like it's not by chance that you feel like you were made for more. Like there is a reason for this. And so to be among others is the best. Erica, where can people connect with you, watch your journey unfold, support you, cheer you on, say thank you for your time? Let us know where we can find you.
2020 for me is all going to be about YouTube. So you can find me Erica Steeves on YouTube. I launched my channel in January, thanks to like learning my superpower through KBB of how to do product styling and giving tips and tricks on what that means to be a commercial photographer. So I'm really excited to be serving and teaching people, either photographers or small businesses that are product based, on how they can show up online. I'm just sharing and giving all my wisdom. I literally like had gone to school for fashion design, and like I had this like really kind of crazy connected version of like what it means to do photography. I'm not a trained photographer, and I think that is my superpower and it sets me apart. So like to get this inspiration, YouTube is where I'm showing up. Additionally, on Instagram, I am sharing lots of like mindset things that I'm working on and my day-to-day behind the scenes. And then additionally, like the images that I create for my clients and stuff like this. And that is at EC. So it's ECEES. So YouTube and Instagram are like the places I hang out the most. And then my website, if you want to work with me and do some product-based photography.
Awesome. Thank you so much for just sharing your story and coming on. And I can personally just say, getting to watch you transform from a front row seats perspective has been such a gift. I don't know if my students can even understand or know just how incredible being able to pour into your lives and walk through this with you, like literally be in the mud with you as we work through this together. I am really, really, truly grateful. And if you are listening right now and you are curious to hear more about the course or hear more stories like Erica's, head over to jennakutcher.com/KBB. All of the information is waiting for you, and we sincerely hope you dive in before March 9th. If anyone is on the fence right now before we go, what would you say to them?
I mean, there's so many things that come to mind, but like I just wanted to just say really quickly, like thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for like being the mentor that you are. And something that I think is really special is like being mentored by you. I feel like I've been seen in a way that I haven't been seen before by other mentors. And this in itself has been so like has profoundly impacted my confidence and how I show up and like how I want to be seen and see that like, you know, there is more for me and I can get to that next level. So this in itself has been like so inspiring. So I really, really appreciate the time and effort that you have put into making each individual person feel seen and deserving of what is next for them. Um, so this in itself is really amazing. But if anybody's on the fence, like you need to be in proximity of opportunity. And if you don't have this in your life right now, like joining a Facebook group like this and like joining a course, you are going to have like opportunity in your reach. And if this isn't the possibility for you right now, I highly recommend joining KBB to help get you to your next level of your life because it's waiting for you. It's just on the other side. So join up, let's do this. And I can't wait to see you in the Facebook group because I am going to be there and fully present.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for our next round of students. Thank you so much, Erica, for coming on. I'm so excited to keep following your journey. And you know that we're stuck together like glue. You're not going to lose me anytime.
I'm here for it.